if you're watching this right now on Spotify or YouTube, you see 4 very handsome gentlemen looking right at you. And you know why? Because Corey and I are here from 80s Kids Unite. We got Max, we got Jonathan. Corey and I, we were at Pasadena Comic Con a couple weeks ago, and we did a panel with these two dudes. And we thought, wait a minute, we should put this out on the feed so everyone can actually hear and see what we did at the con, right, Corey?
Yeah, like we've been wanting to do for years now, and finally we were able to record it, thanks to Max and Scott Zillner's nephew. But we got it down, and we had a lot of fun at Pasadena Comic Con talking about lesser known sci-fi movies and TV shows from the 80s.
Yeah, so like I said, we got Max from Ready2Retro here. And Max, you've been on LA Comic-Con panels before, and Pasadena, I think this is your first time, but tell everybody what Ready2Retro is if they don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So Pasadena is my home. So I grew up in Altadena, Pasadena, so it was special to be on the stage. And we should just tell the listeners up front, so many people were at this panel.
So many.
Many.
It was packed.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Dangerous.
I mean,
Dangerous even.
Yeah. I mean, like Fire Marshal almost had to shut us down. But anyways, Ready2Retro, 80s, 90s, and sometimes we dabble in the early 2000s. We just talk a lot of what you guys talk about. Nostalgic stuff from our childhood. I mean, we talk 80s, but, you know, I was conceived in the 80s. That's our little joke here. So I'm more of a 90s kid, so we talk all, you know, bright colors, inflatable chairs, you know, the good stuff. Game Boy colors, all that good stuff.
Everything that can be washed off, right?
Exactly.
Yes. And Jonathan's here from Geekscape. Now, Jonathan is like he's the father. He runs Geekscape.
Podfather?
My podfather. But I think I'm a little bit older than you, actually, so maybe I'm your father.
We were not conceived in the 80s.
No, but this, believe it or not, Jonathan, this is the first time Jonathan's been on a panel for 80s Kids Unite.
Yeah.
Like Richie's brother says, Bob in La Bamba, it may be his first, but it won't be his last. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think my brother's been on a few of your panels. I mean, he is one of the night boys with you guys, but when I'm around, it becomes the midnight boys. But yeah, Paul, my brother Paul, who you do Territory Marks with, yeah, he's been on, I think, some podcasts with you guys, but I have yet to have been invited into the Night Boys, and for obvious reasons, as you guys will see on the panel. But if you're watching this on the Geekscape feed, hi, these are my homies. I think we're putting this all out on our own individual feeds at the same time.
It's all out in the world, so if you're wherever you're listening to, go out to the other podcast and subscribe to that.
Yeah, so Geekscape is go here or there, go to the other ones, and enjoy those. And guys, thanks for inviting me onto that Pasadena panel. Like, you've always been on the Geekscape panels at LA Comic Con. But yeah, this is my first Pasadena Comic Con panel as well. A con that I'm really a fan of. Like, it's a fun local con.
Yeah, if you guys are not familiar with Pasadena Comic Con, there's a link in the show notes to check out the website. Scott Zillner, who's a friend of ours, and I've known since back in the days when I worked at Tower Records. That's how far back we go. He puts on a lot of different conventions. And Pasadena Comic Con is a one-day event every year. It's really special. Everyone that comes there we all go there for the same reasons. Just have a good time, get nostalgic, and have fun. And this panel was nostalgic and fun. And gosh, I loved being with you guys. Like Corey said, we're literally talking about lesser-known sci-fi movies and TV shows. Some hit the mark, some don't. You'll have to find out. And let us know what lesser-known movies or TV shows you like that are in the sci-fi genre. And you can suggest topics for 80s Kids Unite if you go to patreon.com/$2 late fee or patreon.com/podcastingafterdark. Those are the two kind of hubs of 80s Kids Unite. And amongst that is Ready2Retro, Geekscape, all the other cool stuff, Territory Marks, TV Obscura. But go to those Patreon links and check us out. And that's in the show notes as well. I got nothing more to say, guys. Does anybody else want to chime in?
No, I think we save it for the panel. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Leave a comment. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Yeah, have fun with it.
Let's get to it.
Enjoy each other's shows. It's the family.
And as my wife would say, courtesy of Enemy Mine.
Just
there you go,
fuck
Jonathan.
You, Mickey Mouse. Fuck you. That's what he says in the movie. He goes, fuck you, Mickey Mouse. Remember that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess I'll have to rewatch it.
That movie's phenomenal.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, and Metalstorm is not, so you'll find out about that in the podcast. Or is it? Enjoy, everybody. I love my brothers. I love my sisters. I love my night people. I love my day for night people. Y'all are a great community. Let's rock. And like Geekscape says, don't hate, create.
In 2023, a crack commando unit of retro podcasters joined forces on a panel at LA Comic Con, but were sent to Comic Con jail for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped. Today, still wanted by 80s nerds, they are very easy to find. If you have an 80s nostalgia problem, if no one else can help, maybe you can hire the Night Boys.
All right, we are 80s Kids Unite. You guys know
awesome.
how to fill a room, I tell you that.
guys.
Yeah, thanks for
was
thanks
so
for
cool.
the love. We are 80s Kids Unite. We are a combination of several different podcasts. We've got Jonathan London. He is the godfather of Geekscape. He's
podfather.
got the podfather, yes, and actual father
Yeah.
to a very beautiful little girl. And he runs several podcasts. We've got we got Jonathan London here. We got Max from Ready2Retro, our youngest brother from another mother, conceived in the 80s and loved by the ladies.
Yeah, I was.
Corey Stevenson, we do 8 podcasts together. I don't know. I sound like Dustin now. Podcasting After Dark and 80s Kids Unite, TV Obscura, Bada Bing, Bada Boom. I am Zak Shaffer. I do Podcasting After Dark, $2 late fee, Territory Marks with Jonathan's brother, Paul London. If you may have heard of him, he's a pretty awesome dude. And Jonathan's got a comic book that he's going to talk about at the end, I hope. But we were going to do a panel today on sci-fi TV shows and movies from the 80s, lesser known. And so when we were bopping around ideas, like, what do we want to do for Comic-Con? We got to do something that is fun, right? And I thought, let's do some lesser known TV shows, movies from the 80s, and talk about them, just riff on them. So we're going to get started. I said to Jonathan, I'm like, can you pick a movie or a TV show from the 80s to talk about? And he's like, how about this movie? Do you want to tell us what that movie is, and then I'll tee up the trailer?
It's Ice Pirates, which I first saw with my brother Paul and our older brother Daniel in a plaza in Ajijic, Mexico. When it had probably been, this is probably, I want to say it's 84, 85 at that point, but the movie's from 83 here in the States. So I watched it probably as a 5 or 6 year old, and it was awesome.
It is awesome. Let me show a clip for you guys so you can get familiar with Ice Pirates.
Now, Sunday at 6, it's a galactic adventure with the Raiders of Outer Space.
Relax, be cool, and whatever you do, don't panic.
In the far-out future, water's more precious than gold, and the Ice Pirates discover more than their share of treasures.
It's all yours, laddies.
Robert Urich, Mary Crosby, and Angelica Houston fight the ultimate space wars. Ice Pirates, Sunday at 6 on Channel 5.
All right, so Ice Pirates. You saw. Talk about Ice Pirates.
I've maybe watched it a handful of times since I discovered it as a kid, but it's always stuck with me. It's basically a movie where water is the most, precious resource in the galaxy, and there are pirates who steal the transporting of water, which is ice. So ice is transported between planets. It's a valuable commodity. So of course you got pirates out there. Acting like pirates. They're attacking other spaceships and stealing it. And you've got Robert Urich. He was Spencer for Hire. Yeah. He is like the leading guy, but the one who really stood out for me is Michael D. Roberts. Michael D. Roberts is the dude who sometimes you think was the guy in the Police Academy movies, but he's not. Yeah. He's just similarly hilarious and does the facial expressions and everything. And this guy had like the most prolific career, and it's still kind of going. But he shows up in a lot. And you start to look at Ice Pirates, which was really just thrown together by MGM with the idea that, hey, science fiction's big. The early 80s were kind of like drafting off of Star Wars. And immediately they hire this guy who did a pretty okay hit for the studio, but this is MGM. And as soon as they hire him to do a movie for like $20 million, MGM's like, you know what? Across the board, we're not making a movie for more than 8. So they've already greenlit Ice Pirates. They hired this guy who was really an animal trainer on set. In his first movie, like the movie that like kind of got him started was for Disney in '71. It's Jodie Foster's first movie. Jodie Foster was attacked by one of the lions on the movie, which it wasn't attacked like ferociously, but like if you're around cats and they just decide to like, hey, I'm going to scratch you. Anybody who owns a cat knows that happens. But there's a lion.
Was this Born Free?
No, it was like Caesar and Shakespeare or something about these two kids trying to like escape from home. It's like an Escape from Witch Mountain era, Disney movie. But Jodie Foster still has scars from getting attacked by that lion. That being said, because he had a backing in animal, wrangling, he was able to direct it. He goes on to have a couple other movies in the 70s, and then Ice Pirates is supposed to be like his big hit. But the studio also changes heads during the filming of it. So he has to fight against this stuff. Would it have mattered? Let me tell you probably why not.
Please enlighten us.
He then went on in 1988 to have someone say, hey, McDonald's wants to make a movie. You should write and direct it. We are talking about Mac and Me.
Oh. I just watched that for the first time last night.
How are you even qualified to host an 80s podcast if it took you that long, bro? This Mac and Me is phenomenal. And I will. I agree. Now I need you to level up, Corey, and I need you to seek out a movie called Nuki.
I have it.
Nuki is like
watch it tonight.
What Mac and Me is to E.T., Nuki is to Mac and Me. Wow. It is
yikes
brutal.
It's not Nookie, the song by Limp Bizkit. It's
no.
Nuki and UK.
This is about an
or
alien
Snicky.
that lands in Africa, and it is like The Gods Must Be Crazy meets E.T. meets something that should have never been made. I will then continue to tell you about Stuart Raphael, the director of Ice Pirates, because not only did he not stop at Mac and Me, in 1994 they're like, hey, why don't you do this horror comedy, Tammy and the T-Rex?
Oh,
yes.
Good stuff.
He did the movie where Paul Walker's brain is transported into a T-Rex, but it's still a romantic comedy.
Like straight up like this.
Denise Richards, yeah.
Denise Richards is the girlfriend who's like, wait, she has to figure out that this T-Rex was her ex-boyfriend or her boyfriend, and like,
you have that in your pile of movies to review one day.
Guys, this dude has this dude cut a swath of destruction from the 80s into the 90s that Jodie Foster still carries on her body. Like, this guy was not to be stopped. That being said, the scenes towards the end of this movie
of Ice Pirates
are amazing.
Yes.
So the lead character, who's a Han Solo-esque dashing guy.
I mean, he's a hunk.
He's a hunk.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell anybody that the turkey for dinner is infected with like parasites. Yeah. They're called space herpes.
That happens to everybody.
The best scene in the movie is them yelling space herpes and shooting this thing. Angelica Houston's in it. Ron Perlman's in it around the same time that he starts doing these fantasy movies. It's co-written by the same dude who wrote Krull.
Yes.
And he came off of Batman in the 60s. He came off of A Man Called Uncle. He wrote some other not-so-great movies in the 80s.
When I was a kid, I said that. I said, our turkey has space herpes. My mom's like, what? I love this movie as a kid.
We used to run around yelling, space herpes! We didn't know what herpes were.
Yeah, just space herpes.
But we're yelling space herpes. And we would be at dinner, and we would grab turkey leg and go, and we'd run it across the table like a space herpes.
I know.
And it would tick our parents off. The only other like noticeable part of that movie is at the end they go through a time distortion field to find like the planet, which turns out to be Earth, and that's the end of the movie. So they're getting older and younger throughout this sequence, and the bad guys end up getting caught in the distortion field and they're gone forever. But that sequence really messed with my brain because you're starting to think about this concept of time.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, they're getting old, they're going to die. And then they become young again. And they're ultimately saved by their kid that hasn't even conceived yet.
Yeah.
And then you end up seeing the scene of conception
Like
later.
Terminator.
You do see the scene of conception.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, what's this movie rated, by the way?
Oh, I have no freaking... It's
PG.
not it's a PG movie. We saw it. It didn't matter in the 80s if it was
No.
PG or not. But we saw it as 3 kids sitting in like a plaza theater watching it, just being like, yo, this movie rules. The movie does not rule.
It does not?
Does it not hold
rule.
up?
Oh.
Does it hold up?
There is a part of this movie that, because of the budget constraints, because of what you know went into it, you're like, I like this a lot, and I'm really going to go to bat for it. Is it a good movie? No. Is it an amazing movie based on the circumstances that brought it? Yes, and that is the most 80s thing you can say, because when a movie comes out and winks, it's like, oh, I'm doing nostalgia. Oh, I'm doing this. No.
Yeah.
The real movies never did that.
No.
Beastmaster didn't do that.
No.
Beastmaster, he fought the budget constraints and the studio shifts and the politics and everything to try and make the best movie he could.
Did he?
Did it succeed? I love Beastmaster.
Oh.
But that whole situation caused him to not want to do Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah, Don Coscarelli.
Don Coscarelli was like, no thanks. Don Coscarelli's a good director.
Director
He's
of Phantasm franchise.
John dies at the end.
Yep.
Like, he's
Bubba
an amazing
Hotep,
director. But he hit a wall
Right.
based on the circumstances. So many of the movies we love from the 80s hit those walls. Sometimes the technology wasn't ready yet.
But your director for Ice Pirates didn't hit a wall. He went on to create Macamee, which is
Dude,
better than E.T. in my opinion. I'll just say it right now.
your words, not mine.
But
your words, not mine. Your words, not mine.
And
So that is Ice Pirates, guys.
Ice Pirates is, look, it's one of those movies that, yeah, I agree with you. If you go on, I have an 11-year-old son, and you'll find this out as your daughter gets older. I go on Common Sense Media to look up if these movies are appropriate or not, what scenes might be kind of sus, as the kids say. There's quite a few sus scenes in Ice
Yes.
Pirates for a PG sci-fi movie.
Tons of sus scenes, but you were also convinced on my podcast that your 11-year-old son didn't know what Suck My Fat One was
He does now.
Stranger Things?
from Stranger Things, and I was like, pretty sure he's lying to you, but go ahead and believe what you want to believe, Zach.
Well, he now knows because of Stand By Me, which I believe is where the line came from originally,
Yeah.
and then it's followed up with River Phoenix asking Will Wheaton, suck my fat one? He goes, biggest one in 9 counties. And then Bodie goes, my son, he goes, what did he mean by that? I go, don't worry about it. Don't
You're
worry
like, so
about it."
counties, they're
Yes.
different
So
houses
the actor
and
on the panel
neighborhoods.
is also raising an actor, because he definitely learned that stuff at school.
Let's pivot to more inappropriateness with Max's pick. Max,
love you,
are
Zach.
you going to talk about your movie or your TV?
I'm going to talk about my movie.
Okay,
Get
let's
it
talk
out
about
of
your
the
movie.
way.
I'm going to let you talk about it while I tee up some clips from it while you're describing it. So
Okay,
go ahead
so-
and tell us what you're going to talk about.
Little backstory. So last year, I relocated to Burbank, California, and there's a lot to do in Burbank. You got Universal Studios, you got 20,000 AMCs there. There's a lot to do. But my favorite thing in Burbank is the Central Library, because their selection of books and graphic novels and mangas are just immense. So I, starting to get into manga, I don't really know much, and I saw this one. It was like horror. I was like, okay, this is cool. And it's called The Drifting Classroom. So there's 3 volumes, and I'm going to talk about the manga, and then it got adapted to a movie. So
Okay.
it's by Kazu Umezu, who is kind of like the Stephen King of Japanese horror. And, dude, The Drifting Classroom, it is a trip. So it's from 1972 to 1974. It was a weekly, just like one-issue comic. And basically the premise is that there is this elementary school, and they go to school like every other day. There's an earthquake, and then all of a sudden, the school, the actual building, the people, including teachers, faculty, and all the elementary school kids, they all just vanish. And they get transported into this desert land, and it's bonkers. There's like monsters that are created from some kid's imagination. It's almost kind of like Lord of the Flies. There is this lunch man. We say lunch lady. What's the equivalent? Lunch man? Lunch person? Lunch human, right? It's a little sexist, lunch lady. Anyway, so there's this lunch human, and he ends up going nuts and takes all the food and starts killing the children and setting the entire faculty on fire. Is this for kids? Or is this I don't know. Okay. There's kids in it, so it's
sci-fi.
for me. So basically, here's all the premise. They find out later in the manga that they were transported to the future. And the way that they find that out is they go outside in the desert, like they'll die in the desert, but then they find this monument, and it's got a list of every kid that died. And they're like, oh, we're in the future. So
I mean, that premise alone sounds pretty rad.
It is. It's crazy. So like the first volume is really cool. It's more horror. Second one, it's a little more of like the first. Volume 3, it gets weird. There's like these like creature humanoids things that take over. They somehow speak Japanese. I don't know, but they're creatures. So somebody in the 80s, 1987, was like, you know what? Let's make a movie out of this. But let's bring in an American aspect to it. So it's actually the same director as House from 1977. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. No. Yeah.
And I'm showing, by the way, I'm showing clips so people can see some of the animatronics.
The director is Nobuhiko Obayashi. So, so take that if you're familiar with that. So then put a sci-fi spin to it, and it is bonkers. So when I was being introduced, and these guys are like my source for like obscure 80s stuff, and I was like, hey, have you ever heard of the Drifting Classroom? They're like, I don't even know what that is. And I knew, oh my God.
Max just went deep immediately. We're like, okay.
I just found a gem because these guys didn't even know what it was
there
about.
there is a Nickelodeon Drifting Classroom from 1994, I believe, with Bubba Smith, a football player, which might be a remake of it.
I try to watch that. It has nothing to do.
It's trash.
Wait, it has nothing to do with it. The only thing that's close to the manga is that the kids reading the manga before.
Yes,
and
but it is related.
Loosely.
Oh,
very loosely.
Nickelodeon.
But anyways, so then this movie does not make sense at all. They had an international school setting, but the trip is the kids in the movie are actually from an international school. I don't know. I was like, hey, do you want to pay tuition? But like, we'll put you in this movie, you know? But you have all these like broken accents, and it's just a mess. Some of it is in Japanese subtitles. Some of it's in English. My wife and I were watching it. We didn't understand what they were saying because it was just like.
How much of the manga does the movie cover? Did they make more than one movie?
It's just one. Yeah, one movie.
I think it's pretty obvious.
It's just, it only needed, but it's just a trip. And then what's so weird about this is like, so the kids are by themselves, and at the very end, you know, the point is, hey, we have to make society now. So you have all these children, and there's
you know how to do that.
Yes.
You know how to do that.
Yes. So they're like 12, 13, and this little girl looks to Sho, who's the main character. She goes, I can't wait to make babies with you. And the movie ends.
Oh and Max is canceled. No, I'm
all
kidding.
right. And that, my friend, is the Drifting Classroom.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Drifting Classroom.
It's basically the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Basically. But the director of House, have you seen the Japanese House?
Of course.
It's amazing.
It's so good. But, you know, that has gotten a lot of recognition, and it's been cleaned up. This one has not been cleaned up.
Yeah, Criterion put out a Blu-ray for the house one.
Do you think they'll put out a Blu-ray for Drifting
Your move,
Classroom?
Criterion, your move.
Yeah, come on. If you're hearing this, Criterion.
There's some problematic things. I would just say if you're feeling like, hey, I just need to feel nothing right now, just put that on.
Well,
because you'll feel something.
I mean,
you'll feel something.
I'm hoping not. I hope I'm not sensing a trend here, because we went from space herpes to 12-year-old children getting married to now.
They had a
don't have to get
dream,
married.
Zach. They had a vision in
a
their
dream.
life.
Sorry.
You know?
There's no societal structure requiring them to get married.
But we're gonna pivot to
Yeah.
They're building that.
pivot
You're
to
so
Sleazy
traditionalist.
C, you know, and for those that don't know, Corey Stevenson, aka Sleazy C, he's got that name for a reason, but I don't think that name is going to be anything connected to what you're going to talk about right now.
Remarkably wholesome.
Yeah, so you're going to, instead of doing a movie, you're going to talk about your TV show first.
We all picked one movie and one TV show, but given what time we have, I don't want to not get to my show.
Okay.
Fair.
You want to
before we roll the credits, I will say, 1985. This came out in 1985. 16 episodes, a whopping 16 episodes, and of course, I'm talking about Misfits of Science.
X-Men before X-Men.
X-Men before X-Men. Well, X-Men TV show. Right?
True.
That's me, Dr. Billy Hayes, and I'm looking for a few good heroes who know how to have a good time. Excuse me, would you happen to be seeking representation? Like my friend Elvin. Now, he's a brilliant scientist, but boy, can he get down. From 7 feet to 7 inches, and he can go where no man has gone before. Then there's Beef. Now, he doesn't make a very good first impression, but this dude is so cool that he can freeze everything he touches. Now, Gloria is really just a sweet kid, but she can do anything she puts her mind to. She's got powers that'll make your head spin. And then there's Johnny B. Now, he used to be a rock and roll star, but now he attracts electricity. Oh, he's got more juice in him than O.J. Simpson. And when he cuts loose, he'll just blow you away.
Together, these misfits of science will make an unbeatable team. And with Billy at the wheel, they're out to save the world and have a blast. The Misfits of Science, Fridays this fall.
And I want to point out that logo is literally a ripoff of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
It's not even the logo from the show. Like, the logo from the show is better.
No, but clearly that's a real promo from NBC. Wow. So Misfits of Science. By the way, I just got to say really quick, Courtney Cox, so cute back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So cute.
Who was in the Masters of the Universe movie.
Yes.
The irony there. The irony.
Please tell us.
You mentioned how there were things like Ice Pirates you'd watch so many times as a kid, and then go years and years without ever seeing it. So this was one of those shows that, as a kid, I caught an episode or two. I doubt I watched all of them, and I don't even know when it came on. But I would see it, and this was in '85, so I was 7 years old, and it became this like stuff of mythical legend. And we talked to our friends and be like, yo, you remember that show that like there's a guy, the frozen guy that was in, their freezer in the ice cream truck and everything. We're like, what? Yeah, I remember that. And, like,
you can't go to the internet and find out.
There's no internet for you to find out. This was the 80s. If you missed a show, it wasn't going to be on streaming. It wasn't going to be on DVD. You couldn't go buy the box set. Nothing. And it was just holy crap. So you have an amazing cast of characters. You have, first off, Kevin Peter Hall. He's the Predator. He's the frickin' Predator, and he's amazing in this show. He's really, really good. We covered this on a very early episode of TV Obscura. So we actually did watch the pilot a few years ago. It holds up. It's a lot of fun. Still not easy to find. I don't think a DVD set or anything's been put out. Dean Paul Martin, he passed away like 2 years after this show was made. He passed away in '87. Isn't he Dean Martin's son, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, yep. And then Courtney Cox, young Courtney Cox. You got Mark Thomas Miller, which is, I always kind of thought he was the poor man's Boone from Nightbreed a little bit.
Craig Sheffer? Craig Sheffer?
Craig Sheffer. But yeah, it's one of those shows, high concept. It didn't last long. Like I said, only 16 episodes. But it just lives it's so firmly embedded in my brain, and it'll just never go away. And it's just a testimony to something that just made a blip in other people's lives. But when you're at that age, when you're like 7 years old or 5 years old, and you see something that just blows your mind, just sticks with you forever, like the show Werewolf on Fox. It's just that era, that '85 era is just absolutely perfect.
Good year.
That's a great
85
year.
is good year.
I don't think I was watching a lot of live action. I mean, we watch cartoons and we think about that stuff, but we were talking about what shows to pick. I picked Alien Nation. Can talk about it or not talk about it if we get to time. But that is a show that really hit the air in like September of '89 and got canceled in the '90s.
Yeah.
So it's really only bridges the gap a little. But I was mentioning Earth 2 being that show where I was like, dude, remember Earth 2?
Yeah.
Earth 2 was a fun show, but it was '90s. We all have those shows that just were so commercially not successful that they don't get the support onto other media, and you really have to turn to the internet and other people like ourselves to be like, hey, does anybody have a copy of this? Because I'd love to see it.
No, I mean, if there might be a DVD set. I have not picked it up, but yeah, it's just when you're 7 years old and you see something as cool as that.
Well, you hear about shows nowadays or movies that get canceled, like the the Catwoman movie or the Wile E. Coyote movie that's allegedly coming out, and you think, oh, it's such a shame that these studios would shelve these things. Well, they would put out these pilots back in the day or these short-run series, and then they would be gone.
The Justice League
just
movie.
Like it. Justice League, yeah.
The Justice League movie. I have bad news. They made the Catwoman movie.
They made it. It's done, right? Brendan Fraser's in it.
No,
But
you're talking about Batwoman.
Batwoman, sorry.
They made the Halle Berry Catwoman movie. I'm so sorry, dude.
I'm thinking about movies that should have been shelved.
I'm only apologizing because that movie actually got made.
That got made, and I apologize.
Yeah, the Batgirl movie got made. Batwoman movie got made and shelved, which is insane because Brendan Fraser plays Firefly in it, and we need to see it. And it has Keaton Batman in it.
I know. Right.
And the other one that you're talking about, Acme versus Coyote, is getting released.
That's coming out later this year.
Yeah.
Right?
And Eric Bauza's here. He can tell you all about it.
Oh, cool.
Because
all
he's
right.
in it.
But real quick, Max,
Yes.
do you have does this ring any bit of a bell for you? Did you ever see this on repeat? Did it pop up anywhere?
Negative.
Yeah.
That's a negative Ghost Rider.
First time you've ever heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
And Kevin Peter Hall, by the way, who's the very tall man who gets very tiny, was also Harry in Harry and the Hendersons. So he was known for his suits. So it was nice to see him out of the suit and in an actual, regular form, tiny form. Courtney Cox, so good. Right before He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Which is about this time is when she probably did the Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Dancing in the Dark.
Dancing in the Dark, Yep. You're talking about bad movies that should have maybe never been made. That's going to come to my pick.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to set up. It's called Metalstorm. It's called Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared Sin. I'm going to show you the trailer, and then we'll get into it.
From the alien wilderness of the future comes a warrior, Dojin, the Finder. He will battle the forces of evil. For him, it's high noon at the end of the universe. The epic movie that challenges your senses is the ultimate 3D experience. Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared Sin. Rated PG. See Metalstorm at a theater near you soon.
Jonathan, did you recognize that voice of the narrator? That is the Lochnar from Heavy Metal, the movie.
That's amazing. And I got to tell you, Zach, are you going to play the bad trailer? Because that was tight.
Oh, sorry.
Is there a bad movie you're going to show? Because I've seen Metalstorm. Because that cover of the box, do you have the cover of the... There it is.
So, yeah.
That looks so awesome.
It looks awesome.
And I think that's the same artist who did the Metal Gear artwork for
I
Nintendo.
believe so.
Nice.
I believe so, the video game, right?
You know, when I saw that on a VHS shelf as a kid, we totally watched this movie.
No, so here's the thing. On our show, 80s Kids Unite, Podcasting After Dark, 2 Leafy, et cetera, Ready to Retro, we talk about Geekscape. Nostalgia is one hell of a drug. Because when you're a kid, you freak out and you go, oh my God, I want to sit down with my toys and I want to recreate what I'm watching on TV right now. And then you watch it as a kid and it's amazing. Then you watch it as an adult.
Not
That's
so
what
much.
we did last night. And
Much to my wife's chagrin.
I'll just say, so Dustin, who's on $2 late fee, loves the fact that anything 90 minutes or less is a perfect movie in his opinion.
Agreed.
This might be the exception.
Oh.
This movie is an hour and 24 minutes long.
Longest hour 24.
And there's
No way.
probably 40 minutes of dialogue through the whole thing.
But he threw a Christmas ornament.
You could. Yeah, I mean,
He
so
threw a Christmas ornament and exploded.
he threw a Christmas ornament. It's in 3D. It's directed by Charles Band, who, if you don't know who Charles Band is, he is the godfather of schlock next to Roger Corman. He made Puppet Masters,
Robot
Doll
Jocks.
Man, Robot Jocks. Like Full Moon Entertainment was the video store staple in the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Robot Jock starring Gary Graham from Alien Nation TV
We're
show.
going to get to your show.
You don't have to. I'm peppering.
And Robot Wars, which starred Don Michael Paul, but that's a whole other story, directed by Albert Pune. Anyways,
The legend Albert Pune.
Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared Sin, stars a guy whose character's name is Dojin. So we were calling him, what were we calling him last night? Doja Cat. Exactly. Dua Lipa, whatever. Anyways, it's got this random dude, but it's got Kelly Preston. And Kelly Preston, rest in peace, beautiful 80s actor, 90s actor, married to John Travolta at one point. Tim Thomerson, who was the king of B movies back in the day, amazing.
Came alive when Tim Thomerson.
When he shows up alive, Richard Mall was in the
Night
TV
Court.
show Night Court as
Yeah.
Bull. very iconic 80s actor.
Apparently he got the role because of this movie when they were filming, because he had to shave his head for the prosthetics.
Yes.
That's what got him the role as Bull. So I guess there's something good came from Metalstorm.
But when you think 3D, and in the 80s, Jaws 3 3D came out, and everything was in your face. The shark was in your face. The eyeball was in your face. This was a stick is in your face. This one is a flaming tree gets really close to your face. This one is a spiked Christmas ornament gets thrown towards your face. An arm gets ripped off, thrown towards your face. By the way, that arm belonged to an actor named David Smith, who has one arm, and that was his big claim to fame. It was introducing David Smith as Ball, that's his character's name, and he had one arm, and that was the gimmick. You rip his arm off, it's not really there, right?
But what about Jared Sin?
So Jared Sin,
His name is in the title.
you saw him in the beginning of the trailer, which looked epic with that awesome bug armor that he had on. Corey goes, "Oh, I know that guy. He's from Mad Max, right?
He's from Road Warrior.
Sorry, Road Warrior." And I go, "Well, this is like a ripoff of Mad Max, anyways." And he's great, actually.
Yeah, he's fun.
He looks like a jacked up Jim Varney, which in today's day is John Cena. Yeah. So. That's a compliment, by the way. That's not a put down.
If you compare anybody to the legend Jim Varney, it's a compliment.
Yes. And it's got a score by Richard Band, who is Charles Band's brother. It's produced by Albert Band, which is their father, which tells you how the movie probably got made. And it was released by Universal Studios, which tells you why it's not available anywhere.
Nobody's giving notes on that set. They're like, yeah,
anyways,
it's great. I love you, son.
If you want a really bad movie to sit down with a group of people, if you watch this by yourself, you'll be more depressed the next day. But if you want to have a good time with friends and goof on something, Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared Sin in 3D is where it's at.
Can you guys get it booked in a theater here in LA and maybe throw something together?
You know what?
With
Coming
Mr. Charles
soon
Band.
to Los Angeles.
I just feel like when you talk about this movie, you gotta go Metalstorm.
Yeah, Metalstorm. Yeah, there you go.
Spoiler: there are no Metalstorms in it anywhere.
Yeah.
And spoiler part 2, Jared Sin does not get destroyed.
No, he doesn't.
There is no destruction of Jared Sin.
Well, Zach,
The title lies in 2 accounts.
Charles Band is always at his booth at San Diego Comic Con, which
Yes.
used to be right behind the Geekscape booth before
Yes.
he moved. I invite you to go speak with him and try and put together a screening of this movie.
I would be glad to. Okay, let's
You just started the
Matt
fun
just
right
put
there.
down a fun for it. Let's pivot to a TV series that you want to talk about, Jonathan, because you were trying to get in there as much as you could.
Well, I was trying to throw it in for the factoids because what I like about this show that I'm going to tell you, I'm actually fascinated by the era that is like 89 to 91, where they just didn't know Kurt Cobain was going to put a giant door and slam it in front of all these people's faces.
Right.
Culturally, like the shift that we did at 91 is pretty profound.
It is.
And people compare it to Beatlemania. Like, it's just like, my ex-wife lived in Seattle when Kurt Cobain found out people were just wandering the streets. Like, they didn't, like, it was like 9/11. Like, they didn't know what was happening.
when
That's how big
grunge
the
came out.
when Kurt Cobain died.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
People just didn't know what to do with themselves. Because in 91, that was like the slam of the door of anything that you guys talk about on your podcast. That being said, Alien Nation is a movie that was put out in 88.
Starring James Caan, Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin, and it's awesome. And written by Rockne O'Bannon, who wrote Farscape, the greatest sci-fi show ever made, which we named Geekscape after. It's my favorite sci-fi show, and you know I'm going to drop Rockne O'Bannon because he's amazing.
Nice.
And I love his writing. And Alien Nation was a movie that he sent to Galen Hurd, and Fox made it, and it was a modest hit, right?
Galen Hurd, who did Aliens and Point Break, Terminator, et cetera, et cetera.
And using aliens, you could talk about things like immigration and minorities and sexuality and stuff like that, because the men carry the babies and stuff like that. And it was a fun movie, but the TV show carried it on, and Kenny Johnson took it over. And Kenny Johnson is like 80s sci-fi royalty because he created V. He ran The Bionic Woman, The Incredible Hulk. Like, those are his TV shows. He also directed Short Circuit 2. He went on to direct Steel. But Kenny is a really nice, I mean, he's somebody I've known for almost 20 years. Super nice guy. Always up for talking on podcasts. Would be great on yours. Christian Blatz had him on his. But Alien Nation's a show that was one of the first shows at Fox. And it premiered in September of '89, so it's on this podcast. And guys, I could have picked V, but V is very well known. Alien Nation was canceled by April or May of that following year because Fox said, well, we're not doing drama. We're done with drama.
Yeah.
And it had a cliffhanger it ended on, which was then carried on into 5 TV movies all the way through 97.
I didn't know that.
It's crazy that Kenny wrote and directed. There were books. But this series stuck with me because things like, wait, the dude carries the baby in the whole thing. And they started having feelings for the new aliens who came. Like there was interracial relationships. Gary Graham had conflicts about it. And I'm like, that's the dude from Robot Jocks. And now he's dating an alien and all this stuff. And so I'm 10, 11, 12 watching this, and it's just throwing themes at me and all this cool stuff. And for me, that is a sci-fi show, right? It wasn't played for laughs. No. Sorry, Ice Pirates. It wasn't any of that stuff, but it was like, oh, this is hard sci-fi, and it's Earth-based. So it's not Star Wars, it's not Star Trek. Star Wars is fantasy, let's say that. But it's not the future science fiction. It takes place in LA now.
Right.
And so it's something that is just next door. And I think that's really good sci-fi.
Good humor with San Francisco, you know, like his partner and stuff. They would throw in some pepper in some humor, which breaks the tension a little bit. I was a Fox kid growing up, so I watched everything on Fox. This show was huge for me. And like you, when I watched it, I was like, that's the dude from Robot.
And it was a hit.
Gary Graham will always be the dude from Robot.
And he breaks his ankle in the pilot. You can see it when he's chasing somebody up the stairs. And Kenny showed me the sequence and how they cheated it with cuts because he totally snaps his ankle, turning a corner, and then he has to run up steps. And he did it. I met Gary Graham about 10 years ago because he was promoting this Axanar Star Trek series that he was a part of, because he's a Star Trek actor too. And all I asked him was like, dude, Kenny walked me through you breaking your ankle on that pilot. He goes, it was the first day. And I had to do the entire pilot with like a broken ankle. And I mean, that's pretty insane.
Dedication.
And it's pretty impressive, but that show was a hit. Everybody was looking at season 2 coming along, and then the edict came across Fox and said, we're not doing dramas. We're doubling down on the comedies in The Simpsons.
Of course, but it's nice that they allowed it to finish with TV movies, and I know they did some novels too. It's like, we never got that with Firefly. We did get somewhat in comic book form, but here's what I'll say. Give us the rest of...
Or Farscape.
Give us the rest of Sarah Connor Chronicles on Fox. They got 2 seasons. They were great and ended on a great cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. Just give it comic books, give it novelize, anything. At least Alien Nation got that. And for me as a kid, that show was huge. I remember watching that movie with my dad. It was a cool, like everything we said, it was such a cool idea. And what sci-fi does so well, when science fiction is good, it's great, and this is it because it allows you to tackle ideas and concepts that you normally wouldn't be, like you said, break down the men carried the baby. So they could do all this gender reversal commentary and everything like that.
Well, I want to play a quick promo in regards to the humor, though, that you brought up and that you said was a little bit in there, because this promo kind of makes it sound like it's a lot more humorous.
Monday, experience an alien drug that turns strangers into soulmates and bonds them for life.
George, what the hell is this? Sardanak.
No matter who they are.
He drank the Sardanak, and you were the first person he saw?
Alien Nation, Monday on Fox.
I think that's Fox being like, you like comedies? Try this. It's not a comedy.
You like
but
comedies?
They're trying.
Yeah, let's allude that two men love each other.
And that actor, Eric Pierpoint, who plays the alien, instead of Mandy Patinkin, he's in a ton of Star Trek. And he's in a ton of TV. Sadly, Gary Graham passed away.
He did pass away about a year or so ago.
Yeah, you would have... this guy, Eric Pierpoint, you start watching TV and you're like, oh my God, he's in everything.
He's good. I actually have the promo, the original intro to Alien Nation. If you want me to play it, I can play it. Really
we can move on. We're at 10:43.
I think it's pretty cool to check out.
I mean, there's a big crowd here, so they may not be impatient.
That was the scene in California's Mojave Desert 5 years ago. Our historic first view of the newcomer's ship. Theirs was a slave ship carrying 250,000 beings bred to adapt and labor in any environment. but they've washed ashore on Earth with no way to get back to where they came from. And in the last 5 years, the newcomers have become the latest addition to the population of Los Angeles.
And that's the music of the singing of the aliens.
It sounds like the music from Farscape too, and like this is a very Kenny Johnson theme too. Is people coming to our planet? Is it real? Is it not real? I mean, everybody remembers in V the spaceships over the monuments, to the point where when they made Independence Day, Dean Devlin went to Kenny Johnson and said, "Yes, we totally ripped you off, and we apologize." And Kenny Johnson's like, "It's great. It's great."
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so if you've never seen Alien Nation, this seems to be one of those that you got to check out because it's worth watching. And watch the movie, too, because James Caan is he really represents he's a good representation of what happens when people come here and you're like, and he learns to love him, which I really appreciate.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to keep the love going with a Saturday morning cartoon, right, Max?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about Galaxy High School, and I'm talking again about a school, students. You guys are probably thinking, man, this guy peaked in high school or something. I didn't, but anyways.
He wants to be drifted off into space in another galaxy. Do you want me to show the trailer really quick? Or
yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Galaxy High. Galaxy High. Galaxy.
Toe Jam and Earl totally ripped this.
Dude, they Toe Jam and Earl.
Like this is Toe Jam and Earl as a cartoon.
So what's great about that intro and the music for this, it was by Don Felder from the Eagles. This guy was like, yes, blows your mind just now, right? Yes, Don Felder, dude. The one and only. Okay,
the
so
one who wasn't in Miami Vice.
I'm going to blow your mind even more. The show creator of this was Chris Columbus of Home Alone fame. He wrote The Goonies. He wrote The Gremlins. So he was like the top writer at the time, up and coming. And they're like, CBS was like, yeah, we want you to write this show, to lead it. So Chris Columbus is in his 20s, and he makes Galaxy High School. And it was on CBS. It was only for 13 episodes, and I'll quickly explain why that is. But basically the premise is there's this kid named Doyle. Great name, right? Doyle. And Doyle's the cool kid exactly on Earth. Like, he's the jock. And I'm like, yeah, Doyle? Come on, dude. I don't know. There's no one's cool named Doyle. If your name's Doyle, you're awesome.
We
but
say
no.
Doyle in the 80s.
And then there's a Doyle rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Doyle rules, yeah.
So
he had to go off planet to be cool.
Exactly. No. Well, he went off planet to graduate. So he had to. The only way he was going to graduate was he had to go to a school in the galaxy, because they're like, well, you know, you're flunking here. You have this scholarship. Imagine being that guy.
That's
Imagine
major
being
continuation.
Yeah, you used to be a teacher. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So him and this other girl. So I'm blanking on the name. Amy. Thank you. Amy. She also has a scholarship. She's a nerd in Earth. And she's just like in the books and stuff, but then she goes to the galaxy and she's the coolest girl in school. So basically what's cool about this show is it actually was trying to communicate like morals and social dynamics and things, but not like Full House where it's like, oh, at the end. Like, it was trying to be sophisticated. Yeah. And CBS is like, hey, too much of that. But why this failed is because they were so focused on the animation, and actually the animation was done by TMS Entertainment, which was one of the most renowned anime companies at the time in Japan. They were trying to get their foot in the U.S. market. So if you watch this show now, it's like you look at Ninja Turtles, very, very popular. Let's be honest, the animation at times,
sure,
not so great. You know, the turtles are different colors and things, but the animation, so good. Fantastic.
It's the equivalent of the G.I. Joe intro in the Transformers
Exactly.
intro.
But
it's
it, like
a
all of
step
it.
above.
And then the last thing I'll just mention about this is that Nancy Cartwright actually did a voice. She does Bart's voice for one of the characters. So when you're watching this, you'll hear this. He's called Freddy Flathead, and he's just like a walking piece of paper, basically. But every time he talks, it's Bart Simpson. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
wow. It's a warm up.
So this was only 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Dude, this another show that lived.
I remember this show.
Still in my memory.
Yeah.
It's a core memory. I loved this show so much. The girl with the brain, it's on the picture right there. She liked the jock. I remember that.
A little bit. They flirted with it, but they didn't really go there.
As the person on the panel who doesn't do the 80s podcasts, how many of your podcasts are just you guys giving each other the Mandela effects over and over?
All the time.
Like all the time. You're like, it didn't exist. Oh my God. Do you remember that? I do, but it didn't exist.
Max.
I did that to my wife over Christmas. I watched Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5.
Part 5. There's a.
And I unlocked a
It doesn't exist.
Automatic memory for her when she walked in.
Who's asking for 5 parts?
Guys, we need to do like a Shyamalan movie mixed with an Apatow movie where the geek thinks something exists. At the end of the movie, the twist is it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's like trying to convince people that something in culture
like,
existed. And at the
makes
end,
his own merchandise.
Seth Rogen's like, I'm in the wrong reality. It never existed here.
The last thing I'll say about Galaxy High School is because when they launched it, they were so focused on the show, they didn't have a toy line. If you didn't have a toy line in the 80s, it was doomed from the start.
Yeah.
Instant death.
Well, I think all of our shows that we've chosen did not have a toy line.
That's why they're
TV
obscure.
shows, that's why they're lesser known or obscure. We're starting to run out of time. We got a few more minutes, and so I do want, Corey, I do want you to mention the movie that you picked, and then we're going to tag team on the TV show that I chose because we covered it on TV Obscura.
Yeah, my movie really quick, 1985, directed by Wolfgang Peterson. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, he did.
Never-ending Story, Das Boot, went on to do Outbreak and everything, but it's Enemy Mine.
You have crash-landed on a barren planet, millions of miles from home. Your means of transportation and communication are destroyed. You are stranded. You are defenseless. And you are not alone. Enemy Mine, rated PG-13.
Starts Friday at a selected theater near you.
It's phenomenal.
Enemy Mine's great, and as a kid, it's another one of those movies. As a kid, it's dealing with high concept themes and, talking about societal stuff and everything. But I watched it so much as a kid, and I think it's because of Louis Gossett Jr. playing Drac. And I'm thinking about it, while we're leading up to this. And there's a lot of cool alien characters in Star Wars, but you're mostly following the human characters. He's on the level of somebody like Admiral Akbar, but you only saw Admiral Akbar for like 3 minutes on screen. He is carrying the entire movie. He's got a whole dialect that he's talking.
Does he say,
Apparently, Zak's wife loves this movie. We just found out about it the other night.
Shocker.
So you guys are my brother. We would only jump into pools like he does in the movie. Yeah. Where you do that little thing on your head and then you shake and you jump in.
Gossett Jr. disappears into Drac, and it's amazing. And just how much screen time an alien like that gets, and then their friendship and the meaning that this movie has.
Well, this is Officer and a Gentleman, Louis Gossett Jr. This is Oscar level. Louis. And I interviewed Louis Gossett Jr. in 2007, early Geekscape, and I really only wanted him to speak Drac. And he did. Of course. He did.
And another show or TV or movie where a male gives birth.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Fuck you, Mickey Mouse.
And it kind of goes back to our ongoing discussion about what's obscure then versus now. If you go back to the 80s, everyone knew Enemy Mine and everything. Now you talk to somebody about it, they're like,
not so much.
And that movie resonates today.
Oh yeah. More so.
I think it's the highest quality thing that we were going to talk about on this panel. That movie's perfect.
Yeah, we go from highest quality to lowest quality, I think, at the end. Of course, Metalstorm, I thought that was bad. Actually, my pick is pretty good in the scheme of things. It's called Otherworld. It's basically, people have said it's Lost in Space meets Sliders, and it is. I'll play the promo for you.
Channels 2 and 7 welcomes you to Otherworld, Passing through a long, dormant threshold, the Sterling family begins life in a strange fantasy world. A world where the unsuspecting family become fugitives from the powers that want to destroy them. Branded as criminals, the Sterlings search this other world for its governing masters, their only hope for survival. Come to Otherworld. The adventure continues Tuesdays at 6 on 2 and 7.
So Otherworld it only lasted for 8 episodes. No one's ever heard of this show. Like I said, it is literally Lost in Space meets Sliders. It's about a family that goes into another dimension and has to basically try to get out of said dimension. And it stars Tony O'Dell from Karate Kid, Chopping Mall, Karate Kid. He's one of the Cobra Kai. He was in Head of the Class.
We interviewed him on Podcast After Dark a few years ago. He's also he's an acting coach.
He's an acting coach now.
Zendaya's acting coach.
Wow. Yeah. He did a lot of work for Nickelodeon and stuff like that. But the villain on this show, you might have recognized him in the video, is Jonathan Banks, and y'all might not know that name, but he's obviously from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
In Crocodile Dundee 3.
Wow, that's a deep cut. And a 90s movie, so we won't talk about it here.
That's why I run Geekscape, friends.
Yes, and also he's in, I believe, Beverly Hills Cop. He's in that, and he's also in 48 Hours. So Jonathan Banks, who is in his later days of life, has had a very prolific career. He's a great villain on the show. It's a fun series. It only lasted a few episodes.
You got to go on YouTube to find that.
Yeah, and they're very low quality, but they are worth seeking out. Otherworld. All right, so I got a little outro to play for you before we wrap things up, and I want to thank you, 150 people. Before we wrap up, I just want to quickly shout out Jonathan London, Geekscape. You got a new comic book coming out. Remind everybody, please.
I've got issue 2 of Paul London, Hero of the Prophecy. I wrote a comic book as a love letter to my younger brother, Paul. Ex-WWE wrestler, but people are like, hey, what's he do now? I'm like, he got transported to a fantasy world that thought wrestling was real and needed him to fight an evil wizard. And it's very Galaxy Quest-ish, but it's 80s fantasy, like Beastmaster, and they see a wrestler, they summon him to a planet, and they fight him. Issue 1 is out. I can get you issue 1. Issue 2 is coming from the printers this week. I'm super happy with issue 2, and we've been writing issue 3, which is even weirder and funnier. It just gets weirder. And then I have an 80s-ish G.I. Joe comic coming out this summer called Super Action Man, which is like dumb G.I. Joe. It's like it's going to be a lot of fun. And
I've heard rumblings that issue 3 of Hero of the Prophecy might have some connection to me. So
no, you're the second storyline.
Oh,
that's after issue 6. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh.
And
Anyway,
that
it's okay,
one,
6
that
or 7.
One,
it
and
doesn't
I'll
matter.
tell you, a lot of people think that I'm only doing 6 issues of Hero of Prophecy. No, there's a second storyline that takes place on a ruined Earth, and it's very Metalstorm.
Yeah,
Cherry 2000.
For those that don't know, Megaforce, Metal Force, whatever.
It's all that.
It's coming out. I cannot wait to read it.
Thanks, man.
Issue number 2. Max, Ready to Retro? Ready2Retro.com?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We talk 80s, 90s, early 2000s. We'll dip into it. Looking forward to this new year, and we're going to have a lot of great stuff going on. So.
I'm so stoked that you guys are on this panel. I can't wait to do more stuff like this as well on 80s Kids Unite. And Corey, podcastingafterdark.com.
Yep. Cult movies from the 80s, 90s, 70s. Good stuff. More The Thing, less E.T.
Yes. And last but not least, let's play our little outro. Thank you guys for coming out. Don't leave yet, because this is a really fun outro by our good buddy Dustin, who does the voice, and apparently he thinks I like Nickelback.
But you do.
Maybe.
Who doesn't?
I mean, who doesn't like Nickelback? Okay, so Jonathan said we need to record an outro, so here's our outro.
Hope everyone dug it.
Hope you love that panel. It was like you guys were there, except you wouldn't have fit in the room because it was too crowded.
Yeah.
Way too packed.
The roar of the crowd may be something that you guys really picked up on. That being said, we hope you enjoyed that. If you want to listen to Geekscape, please do, or check out Ready to Retro. These boys in the 80s Kids Unite, and then the Night Boys over here, they're awesome. It's not the Night Boys, is it?
It is the Night Boys. It's the Midnight Boys. It's all of
the
that
Midnight
stuff.
Boys when I join. It's all the boys.
All the boys.
And it's BOYZ, so that it's literally, it doesn't mean, there's not a gender there.
It's to represent the streets.
Is that what that means?
No.
Is that what it is?
I was like, I thought they were just trying to be edgy.
Is that what that means?
2026, we make our own reality.
There you go.
All that to say, we hope you enjoyed it, right?
Yeah,
Zach?
that's
we hope
right.
You enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. We're putting this out on our feeds, and you'll get more of each of our shows next week if you subscribe and share and all that, right?
Yeah, please subscribe, like, share, bada bing, bada boom, tango tango, bingo bango.
Whiskey wingo.
It is what
Wingo
it is.
boingo. It is what it is.
80s Kids Unite is brought to you by Hungry Hungry Hippos, the loudest tabletop game in history. And by Nickelback, Zak's favorite band. If you'd like to suggest topics for this show, go to the Patreon of either $2 late fee or Podcasting After Dark, or both. All links are in the show notes. We love you.
Oh, listen, I just wanted to say goodbye and remind you that the good guys always win, even in the 80s.